And I know Eddie and all of you naysayers were saying that I wouldn't take this fight.
I'm not sure Jake Paul's that crazy.
That's a fucking bad idea.
AJ's gonna knock him out.
He's going to get hurt.
This might be a step too far.
Frank Warren has sent a chilling message to Anthony Joshua ahead of his upcoming showdown with Jake Paul, warning that the fight could become a career-defining moment for the former world champion if things go wrong.
Apart from a load of money for Jake Paul, what does he get out of this? Do you think he goes on and look, Jake Paul?
Oh, I mean, he's the big underdog. If he did what everybody thinks is the impossible, then he'd be fired. I can't see him beat. I really can't see it myself. But if he does it, it's fine. But he's doing what everybody's been asking him to do, fight someone.
Warren highlighted the potential danger for Joshua, noting that while the British star is a massive favorite on paper, a single mistake in the ring could dramatically alter perceptions of his legacy. Despite Jake Paul's controversial rise from social media personality to professional boxer, Warren acknowledged that the YouTuber has earned respect for stepping into a fight of this magnitude. He emphasized that Paul has worked hard in the gym, taken the sport seriously, and has the courage to face one of the biggest names in boxing, despite having a professional record limited to 13 fights, mostly against opponents of lesser experience.
Jesus, I mean, talk about going from one extreme to the other. He's really up there now, and he's fighting, as I say, a two-time world champion, natural weight, heavyweight. He's gonna have his hands full. He's gonna be a big underdog, a big underdog. But you know what? People watch it because they think it's a car crash.
So we're talking about, a top heavyweight, one of the best heavyweights in recent times in Anthony Joshua, a dangerous man going in against still a novice cruiserweight. Should that even be sanctioned? Is it safe?
It's going to be sanctioned, isn't it? They're announced.
Should it be?
Should it be? Well, if they're both fitting well, and
if his name wasn't Jake Paul, would that be? Is it dangerous? This is dangerous. This fight, right?
It's a dangerous fight. Of course, it's a dangerous fight. But I'm not here to be there selling their show. I've got no interest in the fighters from that perspective. I just think that he is a licensed boxer. He trains. He knows what he's getting involved with. He's not an idiot. And he knows what he's going to be up against, but he must believe in himself to do it.
Warren's perspective reflects a growing acknowledgement in the boxing world that Paul, although unconventional as a fighter, should not be underestimated. The promoter noted that Anthony Joshua comes in as a dominant figure with Olympic gold credentials and a vast professional record. Joshua's skill, experience, and power make him a clear favorite, but Warren stressed that the fight is not without risks. He painted a scenario where a single strong punch from Paul could dramatically alter and change the narrative surrounding Joshua, referencing how easily the Briton floored Daniel Dubois multiple times in his previous fight. For Warren, the takeaway was simple. If Joshua gets caught off guard, the consequences could be severe. A warning not just to Joshua, but to fans and commentators who see the match as an easy win for the former world champion.
What else have we got to consider? Is AJ cashing out? Well, I did say a year ago when he got splattered by Daniel Dubois that he's finished now. He won't get that confidence back. He's not had any confidence, in his head. No belief for a long time. And I don't think he can get back to world level. There's a couple of new young guns now coming up and coming through. It's like a changing of the guard. And when Usyk retires, I don't know what Daniel Dubois is going to do next, but what Daniel Dubois did to him, then he went on and lost to Usyk. But there's a few new heavyweights coming through, Moses Atalma, just to mention one. And you wouldn't start putting AJ in with any of these young up-and-comers that can punch hard, because I just don't think he's got the chance, because the ambition and the desire is going to be gone. So AJ most definitely is cashing out, and you can't fault him. Fair play to him. He's going to get a massive payday, maximise his exit route by fighting fake Paul.
Anthony Joshua, for his part, has made it clear that he will show no leniency against Paul. The 36-year-old from Watford is returning to the ring after a hiatus following his defeat to Daniel Dubois in September 2024, which marked the fourth loss of his professional career. In contrast to speculation that he might approach the fight cautiously, Joshua has positioned himself as fully committed, determined to demonstrate dominance and remind the boxing world of his capabilities. He views the match as both a high-profile comeback and as an opportunity to cement a standing in heavyweight boxing once again. The fight, scheduled for December 19th at the Kaseya Center in Miami, is an 8-round sanctioned professional bout. Streaming worldwide on Netflix, it represents not only a sporting contest, but a media spectacle designed to draw massive attention and viewership.
Do you think he can win?
Jake Paul?
I think it's a possibility. No one is backing Jake Paul currently. You've seen him in the ring. You can see that he's got some knockout power. And I also believe people don't look at Joshua's last few fights. And I don't think it's going to be as big of a landslide as people feel. I feel like there's an overhand right that could easily land, and I wouldn't predict that Joshua's chin can last that. The problem is that all of the pressure's on Joshua at the moment. So Jake Paul, if he gets knocked out in 12 seconds, he should get knocked out. The problem is, as soon as Joshua starts taking damage, all of a sudden he's thinking, the world is watching me. I'm a professional fighter and I'm getting beat off a YouTuber. All of the pressure is in Joshua, and that's a lot that can weigh on a man. You can't deny that Jake Paul has power. I think it's one of his only attributes. I think he's a very poor boxer, but what he does have is a weird technique where you don't know what
he's got power. How do we know he's got power?
He's knocked people out. Joshua has all of the world looking at him thinking you should walk him over. If it gets 2 rounds, 3 rounds inside, I think Joshua loses.
Joshua's return has been highly anticipated, particularly because of the unusual opponent he is facing. Jake Paul's transition from social media star to professional boxer has been widely discussed, and the matchup has divided opinion. Critics question whether Paul's skill set can ever match Joshua's, while supporters admire the risk he's taking and the rapid progression in his boxing career. Despite the criticism, Paul has shown resilience, facing higher-level opponents and winning a series of professional fights, including a victory over former WBC middleweight champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. earlier in 2025.
And bro, Jake Paul been training pretty freaking hard and consistent. And I don't think they're just taking a fight to take a fight, you know?
The financial stakes of the fight are staggering. Paul himself revealed that the bout is expected to generate an eye-watering $267 million, highlighting the enormous commercial appeal of this contest. This massive sum reflects the combined drawing power of Joshua, a 2-time unified heavyweight champion, and Paul, whose social media fame continues to attract mainstream attention. The bout's commercial scale underscores the growing intersection of traditional sports and entertainment in boxing, where celebrity status and online influence increasingly play a role in the size and visibility of events.
Yeah, and did you see the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami?
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
I know.
Jake Paul, Joshua.
Oh, Jesus. That's a f***ing bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. Then I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
A key element that makes this fight particularly unusual is a weight limitation imposed on Joshua for the first time in his professional career. Historically, Joshua has competed at his natural heavyweight size, often weighing in well above his opponents. His bouts with Alexander Usyk, for example, saw Joshua weighing between 240 and 245 pounds, while Usyk came in lighter. For this fight, however, Joshua has agreed to a 245-pound limit to align more closely with Paul's projected weight, estimated between 225 and 230 pounds. This adjustment introduces a variable that has never been part of Joshua's previous fights and could influence his performance. It's a novel challenge for the veteran champion, potentially affecting speed, stamina, and power, and it reflects the level of negotiation and compromise needed to make the bout happen.
Chin's gone, but he's still Anthony Joshua, which is stiff and no rhythm and no skill, just power. You're serious about fighting him? Yeah.
Paul, who fought at 198.5 pounds against Chavez Jr., but reached a career high of 228.25 pounds against Mike Tyson in 2024, will also need to manage his weight carefully to meet the fight's requirements. The conditioning and strategic preparation for both fighters will be under scrutiny, as their ability to handle the weight difference and physical demands could shape the outcome. For Joshua, the weight limit represents a rare restriction in a career largely defined by his size advantage over most opponents. Meanwhile, Paul has shown the ability to adjust his training and conditioning for high-profile fights, making this matchup both a tactical and physical experiment, in addition to being a headline-grabbing event.
It's a proper fight, is it? Well, here's some proper talk then. If Anthony Joshua doesn't knock out Jake Paul within 6 minutes, it's embarrassing. Not only for him, but also for the sport of boxing. And if he does knock him out within 6 minutes, because it's a proper fight, boxing better pray that there's no lasting damage to Jake Paul. The phrase, fuck around and find out, springs to mind. This is not a game. You don't play boxing. Especially not with a two-time unified heavyweight world champion in his athletic prime. If you're gonna deal with clowns, expect a circus.
Beyond the numbers and logistics, opinions from other boxing figures illustrate the concern over this mismatch. David Haye focused on the danger posed by Joshua's sheer physical power. He pointed out that Joshua's size and knockout capability make him a formidable threat, capable of ending fights quickly and decisively. Haye's assessment was that the risk for Paul is not necessarily in a drawn-out contest, but in the potential for a sudden, violent knockout that his previous opponents have struggled to withstand.
I'm a massive fan of anything that brings eyeballs to boxing, anything that gets people who may not be interested in boxing to start watching boxing. I'm for that. I want to fan that flame. I think he's going to lose, but if he can you imagine if he somehow finds a way to win?
Is it legacy damaging for AJ?
No, it won't affect his legacy. If he goes out there and knocks Jake Paul out in one round, no one's going to think of it any worse of him than before.
Yeah. Tony Bellew shared a similar reaction, noting the enormous physical disparity between Joshua and Paul. Bellew highlighted that Joshua is significantly taller, heavier, and more experienced, making the idea of a competitive fight almost unbelievable. From Bellew's perspective, the matchup could appear almost comedic in its imbalance, as the British star has faced elite-level fighters throughout his career. While Paul's experience, though improving, does not yet compare to Joshua's high-level exposure, Bellew implied that if the fight is conducted under proper professional conditions, Joshua would likely dictate the pace and conclusion of the fight entirely at his discretion.
What happens when, I think we both know, but for the sake of saying it specifically, if the two of them do collide in the ring.
Josh and Jake.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't believe a single thing until I see him in the ring. I don't believe any. Even if they come together for a press, I don't believe it. I don't genuinely believe he will climb into a boxing ring with 10-ounce gloves on with Anthony Joshua. It won't happen. It can't.
Hypothetically, if it does, how long does it last?
As long as Josh wants it to. Simple as that. As long as he wants it to. The same way it did with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. The same way it did with Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou.
John Fury, father of Tyson Fury, also weighed in, emphasizing that Joshua should avoid any perception of holding back, as several of Paul's previous opponents had reportedly done for various reasons. Fury's colorful commentary suggested that Joshua, if fully committed, would likely stop Paul with ease, and any deviation from that expected outcome could raise questions about the authenticity of the bout. Fury's perspective, while humorous and unfiltered, underscored a recurring concern in the boxing community. That is, this fight presents a high-risk scenario for Paul, where the physical and technical gap could be decisive.
I wish Anthony all the best of luck. But Anthony, listen to me. Don't take a dive with this Jake Paul, mate. Do not do that, not for $1 billion, my pal. Don't do it. Don't do as the others have done. Do not take dives. If he fights you, knock him dead as a nit, and good luck with it.
Tyson says he's going to bet £1 million on Jake Paul knocking out Joshua.
This is what I'm saying. How's that work?
He can't, can he?
Anthony Joshua could knock Jake Paul out with his dick. So if it goes any other way, you know...
You give me a headline there, by the way.
If it goes any other way, you know it's fucking fixed, don't you? Enough said. Enough said.
Tommy Fury, the only man to have beaten Paul in a sanctioned fight, approached the matchup differently, offering insight based on first-hand experience. Having defeated Paul in 2023 by decision, Tommy viewed the idea of Paul facing Joshua as almost fantastical. He emphasized that while he was able to neutralize Paul, matching the YouTuber with a fighter of Joshua's caliber seemed unrealistic. Tommy questioned whether the fight should even be sanctioned due to the pronounced size and experience disparity, highlighting the concerns of seasoned professionals who understand how physical mismatches can impact fighter safety and competitiveness.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. He can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So it's just ludicrous. It really is.
Tim Bradley added a psychological angle, reflecting on why the fight negotiations occurred in the first place. Bradley speculated that Paul's team saw an opportunity to test Joshua, potentially banking on any lingering doubts in the champion's mindset following his losses and lengthy hiatus. Bradley suggested that while mental factors might influence Joshua's approach, his professional experience and skill level ultimately make him the heavy favorite. The fight, in Bradley's view, represents more than just a contest of strength. It's a collision of opportunity, reputation, and calculated risk, with high stakes for both competitors.
Oh yeah, Tim Deadstone Bradley, you already know the rest. Oh, did y'all see? Did y'all see what Mike Coppinger said? Oh, is it true? Is it real? Ooh, hey, I like this fight way better. Fake Jake Paul and Dirty Love. They did it again. They got another guy in there that's a little bit of weak-minded. One that might even sell his soul a little bit for that money. Yeah, and go ahead and lay down for Jake Paul. Yeah, man, this is supposed to be an easy fight for a dude named Anthony Joshua. A dude that did 24 rounds with freaking Usyk. A guy that knocked out Ngannou, one of the baddest mans on the planet. Boy, this is supposed to be easy licking for him. Easy money. Shoot, if he go in there and be who he is, right? An experienced Olympic gold medalist, an experienced fighter that he is, bigger than Jake Paul, stronger than Jake Paul, got more skill than Jake Paul, he's supposed to serve Jake Paul. But if he don't go in there and serve Jake Paul, then you know what it is, guys. Yeah, our question's gonna be answered. Yeah, straight up scripted, straight up WWE. Yeah. Ain't nobody can say nothing different to me. Oh yeah, because Anthony Joshua, he's supposed to smash Jake Paul. Period. Smash him. Yeah, easy work. That's what it's supposed to be like. But if he go in there and he struggle, yeah, and he find himself on the canvas looking for a mouthpiece or something, oh man, come on now. And you know Jake Paul, he signed that NDA, he signed his little rights away and was like, oh, I'll take a dive for $40 million, no problem. I'll take a dive, I don't care. All I care about is the money. All I care about is myself. I don't really care about the sport itself. I'm over the sport, yeah, and then we know, guys. But yeah, I'm definitely tuning in for this one. Oh yeah, I'll be watching closely. But anyways, yo, that's my time. And I'm Tim Deadstone Bradley, and I'm out.
Despite the intense debate, Joshua's stance remains clear. He will not go easy. The former champion is approaching the bout as a full-fledged professional contest, committed to asserting dominance and reclaiming momentum in his career. His comments indicate a desire to make the fight a spectacle, while simultaneously demonstrating that his skill and power remain formidable. The combination of Joshua's comeback narrative, the enormous financial stakes, and the high-profile nature of Paul's social media presence ensures that the event will be watched by a global audience, drawing attention not just from boxing fans but from a broader entertainment and sports market.
I give 100% respect to Jake Paul, but that's a dangerous fight for him. He probably gets knocked out, and I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not saying nothing bad, but Anthony Joshua is Anthony Joshua. You know, he's multiple-time champion. Olympic gold medalist, you know what I mean? The last time somebody stepped in the ring with him that didn't have that much boxing experience was Ngannou, and you've seen what happened to him. Yeah. But big respects to Jake Paul. It's going to be a good card, you know what I mean? It's a big fight, and it's a good fight, man. I give 100% respect to Jake Paul for even taking that fight.
The fight also raises questions about the evolving nature of modern boxing. With YouTube personalities like Paul crossing into professional sports, the lines between entertainment and competitive integrity are increasingly blurred. The bout serves as a case study in how fame, commercial appeal, and athletic skill intersect, creating events that capture public attention in ways traditional fights might not. While traditionalists may critique the mismatch, the financial impact and global visibility of the fight reflect a shifting landscape where unconventional matchups can become mainstream spectacles.
That's gotta be it. They said, fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed fighters for me to fight. So there I was, on a Saturday afternoon in my $30 million mansion. It's hot. Bernard! Bring me my Celsius, Master. Now let's take a look at this list. Canelo, injured. Francis Ngannou, scared. Floyd Mayweather, my brother beat him. Mike Tyson, done that. Lennox Lewis, too young. Ryan Garcia, easy work. Tommy Fury, wanted more time. Deji, Nate Diaz, been there, done that. Conor McGregor, owned. Logan Paul, maybe. Sidney Sweeney, it's not a bad idea. But as I looked closer at the list, I saw one name that stood out. That's gotta be it, Bernard! Not the Jet! I'm going back to training camp! I'm fighting Anthony Joshua!
As the fight date approaches, all eyes will be on how both men prepare. Joshua's training will focus on maintaining power and conditioning, ensuring he can perform at peak levels despite the unusual restriction. Paul's preparation will aim to maximize agility, stamina, and defensive awareness, hoping to withstand the force and experience of a legendary heavyweight. Every punch, every round, and every strategic decision will be scrutinized as the stakes extend beyond victory and defeat to legacy, financial gain, and global reputation.